deep.
Hegelian dialectic principle.
Yeah.
The opposing forces controlled by the same people.
Right. So then let's go to what it really is then. When we talk about the power of melanated people, when we talk about who we really are as guys and understanding that our melanin is so powerful and it connects us in a way that the reason why they fear black, the reason why they fear is because the lack that they have of it. So then when you see what, Dr. Francis C. Welsing talked about is that fear in that
just genetic annihilation,
deficiency of when you have a person that has the lack of pigment, the lack of melanin, that they know that they will be annihilated. So therefore, however they got the power, they have the lack of compassion. That melanin comes with compassion. Melanin comes with soul. That we call it soul. We soul brothers and sisters. That's the melanin that connects us. So the people that don't have it are a little, and I'm gonna say this carefully, are a little less, and where the term actually comes from, because I'm bringing it all the way back around to Minister Farrakhan, to where they may not have the compassion or the when they were sent to the mountains of Caucasus, when they didn't have the power of the sun, that the sun then started to deteriorate them. So then they're acting out of fear. They're acting out of low self-esteem. They're acting out of a deficiency. So therefore, the only way that they can act is evil. The only way they have to rob, steal, rape, kill, and
fight or flight,
in order to survive.
Exactly.
So then these people who didn't have what we had, and when I say we, I speak of the melanated people.
Right.
They had to be savages. They had to be barbaric. Because they're in these Nordic mountains. They're in these rough, torrential environments. So they're acting as animals.
Right.
So they're the ones that are actually closer to animals. They're the ones that are actually the true savages. And then they built up such this I don't want to say warrior, but they built up such this conquering barbaric mentality that they're coming out of Europe. They then said, in order for us to survive, we have to take what's not ours. And then they went into the land that actually where we are originated. And instead of trying to make friends, they said, we want what you got. Because there's this mentality of whether it's the Caesars or even that we have to conquer.
Right.
So I say all that to say the context. And when we speak of whether it's Jewish people, white people, Europeans, the Illuminati, they were doing that as survival tactics to stay on this planet.
Right, because
we never had to do that.
Right, because they've learned when they circumnavigated the globe and they ran into these islands and these places, and we were already there to greet them.
Right, with open arms.
Teaching them, but they
were deficient.
They were deficient, so they wanted to get what they thought we had, and we did have it. So the rape took place of the woman. The theft took place of the natural resources.
And then that's when their disease,
exactly.
That's where their mentality, because I'm trying to get to that place of how they were able to get control over the gods. How they were able to get control over their original
once they
people.
learned that, though, and now they raped and impregnated, left and came back, and they saw the child lighter, they said, wow, that's when they learned genetics, genetic annihilation. So now you have to set up a system of white supremacy to control that.
Right.
So now we have 13 families here, Illuminati that's manipulating and controlling, subgroups. Now we got to set up organizations.
Coming out of Europe.
You understand what I'm saying? And for that same system, now you're talking about survival, what you just laid out. Now it's fight or flight. Now we have to set up these systems in order to survive. Right. But listen, not just survive to get some damn some hamburger buns and some cheese. I'm talking about on a genetic level.
On the genetic, because they will, and that's even from the white nationalists to the white supremacy mentalities to Donald Trump himself wanting to build walls.
Right.
They're trying to keep what they consider purity.
On a subconscious
trying to
level.
Stay alive.
Because sometimes they don't know why they acting out.
It's just been proven. Was National Geographic just put it out by 2050? Every person will be a person of color
in a minute.
They saying that's as soon as 2050.
So let me ask you something. So what is the subconsciousness saying? What's the fear? The subconscious said, I gotta survive.
Right.
What do I have to do?
And that's what it's been from the beginning with the
okay. How do you do that
melanated
now?
people.
How do you do that and show love? I got to take natural resources because I may not be here in a minute. Right. I got to bomb these people back to the Stone Age because I'm not going to be here in a minute because I got to be able to dominate.
War was created.
Exactly, and control and dominate people. Okay. I have to survive on this planet.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right. And as you call it, this is a Griff quote right here. Life is living in fear of extinction.
Right. So, and that's what operating on a subconscious level. So they fear. So Dr. Francis Cress Welsing says when you show up, they view a grown, 6 foot tall, 230-pound black man the same as they do a 4-year-old.
Yep.
Because in us is the genetic material to annihilate them.
Ooh, and it's their fear of God.
It's their fear.
It's their fear of God.
Exactly.
And then for everybody, because I'm bringing it back in context again, because just so you know, we keep referencing, the great Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Get that book, The ISIS Papers. If you haven't, it's essential. And in Griff's book first, get the Warrior's Tapestry. He says that book, as well as so many others, that everything that we're talking about, like it has been kept secrets, but it's not a secret. These books are out there for you to actually read upon, and they're all facts. Nothing. That's where I just wanted to get to. I didn't want to keep creating this boogeyman of they.
You have
Illuminati.
To demystify who these people are.
We got to get to when we talk about who the original man is.
Right.
It is the original melanated man coming from the place that we call Africa, and which I always find this so amazing and compelling that Africa was named Africa by the Europeans, and Europe was named Europe by the Africans.
Ain't that something? I had a conversation with one of the Lost Boys from the Sudan. And I asked him, do you consider yourself African? He's like, no.
Yeah.